All right. Okay, thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes, okay. Heart can hear me. Good.
Oh.
Okay, good.
Dog just sits right
All right, and the barking dog has gone to the breeder, so we just have one little quiet puppy here. It'll all be good. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for being here and for getting on your mat, committing to your practice. And okay, I think I'm just going to start. I wait for words of inspiration, but nothing's really coming right now. So here we go. Let's take your hands together, interlace your fingers, flip your palms. Inhale, take a big breath. And then as you breathe out, move a little bit. Just shake off your day, even front to back a little bit. Yes. Good. And then bring your hands together and down, and we'll opposite interlace and just take a nice big stretch again. Just reach out and move in a way that feels nice and opening and kind of settling in. And then we'll release, and we're going to take the hands all the way down to the earth and drop your chin, close your eyes. And take a few breaths as you are settling into your seat. And as you sit here in delight, allow a smile to come in. Feel your temples soften, your eyes soften, your forehead soften. Feeling your breath. So you feel the way it's moving, the quality of your breath, exactly as it is here at the beginning of your practice. And on your next inhalation, open your arms out to the sides, reach up nice and tall, maybe look up, touch the palms together. And as you exhale, release these hands down with reverence and with devotion to rest in front of your heart. On your next inhale, lengthen once again, lift your chin. And as you exhale, bow your chin towards your hands, your heart. I'm going to start this way. Just as you are, imagine yourself sitting in front of you. Just picture yourself sitting in front of yourself. And you're smiling at yourself. And you're honoring yourself, your capital S self. And as you honor yourself, then feel this great love you can offer yourself. And even imagine being in the presence of your own energy. You know, like a mother with a child, without judgment, and just open, loving, and greatly present. And you might imagine, the self in front becoming one with the self who's seated, or even coming to sit beside you or behind you. So that great reminder that you're not alone. As you inhale, lengthen, lift your chin, and as you exhale, stay as you are. And just take 2 more breaths like that, just preparing to open for your own. So a nice full breath in, and a nice release. And And we'll inhale for our first Om together. Inhale. And bow your chin. Place your hands on your thighs. Lift your chin and open your eyes. Okay. Stretch your legs out and move your feet around. And just make some circles. Good. Okay. I'm just going to turn to the side. And I am sitting on something. I might pop it out, but you'll decide what you need. We're going to bend the knees, place the hands down, and just cross one ankle over one knee. And just start to move that foot in the circle. Oh, if you get some cracking, that's awesome. And smile, breathe. Maybe you lift your heart. And then reverse that circle in the other way, the other direction. And then we'll just point and flex this foot a few times and watch it dance. Good. And then just as you are, we're just going to take this a little bit side to side. And it's really the opposite leg that's moving. So I'm lift up my heel and I'm just rocking this side to side. Okay, I'm going to come off what I'm sitting on because I'm sliding off anyway. And we'll just do a few of these. Just letting this nice opening, just tuning in if you get some back cracks. It's nice. Good. Okay, and then just finish off with doing an equal number on both sides. And we're going to come back to sit. And I'm just going to again lift the chest, flex the foot, and now I'm going to press the knee out. And breathe. Okay, take a look at your foot. I know you're doing a lot already. Notice if the baby toe edge of your foot is coming in, and see if you can open the baby toe edge out more to the knee it's being supported on. And maybe you can spread your toes. Good. Okay, and then we'll release. So you might roll a little back, take it off. Let's stretch the legs out again. And just take a moment, just feel, in your foot even, whatever else you notice. Maybe the outer hip is a little bit more open. And then we'll go second side. So we'll come back, bend the legs, cross the opposite ankle over, and then just be here. And we'll start to circulate that foot. So just move the foot around. Circle. If you can lift your heart, take your shoulders back, and then reverse. And a little pointing and flexing. And I say it's like a little dance, your foot can wave one day maybe, or today. And then we'll take the foot into flexion, and we'll just sit up tall, and we'll just start to take this again to the side to side. It doesn't need to be anything super big. And just doing your last round on each side. Then we'll come back to your center. And now we're going to flex the foot and press the knee away. See if you can open your chest. Maybe you can spread your toes and breathe. And then just take that baby toe edge, like as if it can push more towards that outside of that knee, or even take a look, see the arch of your foot. How does it look? Spread your toes and release. You might even curl back and then stretch your legs out. A little bit of this. Pause, kind of feel what's happened. Good. Okay. And then let's see. I think I'll stay here with the legs out and keep your hands behind. Might open your heart. I'm going to look at the right foot and really spread the toes, and then pull that outer edge out to the outside of your knee. And you might get a foot cramp. That can happen. That's just part of it. Take one more breath and then let it go. Move the foot around, and then I can even see already the color in my feet is changing without even touching them. And then we'll do the same with the other foot. So I'm going to spread the toes and pull the outer edge up to the outside of the knee. And breathe. Just move this foot out of the way. Okay. So just look at your foot, whether you can spread your toes or not. Sometimes it's God-given, and we work the foot and then release. Just kind of give it a shake. Good. Okay, and then from here, let's start with a downward facing dog. And if you feel you want child's pose, you can always do that. I'm going to take the blocks and bring them up to the front. And yeah, okay. I'm going to say too, if you want something to support your knees on, a blanket or something, as you come down from your downward facing dog, just put it in place. Nice. And then move yourself up and back. Take a few breaths here. Feel into your legs, the backs of your legs, your calves. So I'm lifting my toes up off the floor, and whether your heels touch the floor or not, just to make it a little stronger. Good. Okay, and then from here, just lift your heels high. Look forward, hug your arms towards each other. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Bend your knees. And now push the heels of the hands forward. Take your belly maybe to your thighs. Then I'm going to look at my legs, and I'm going to press my knees out. Even though the feet are, my knees are not moving out. If you saw me, they would look like I'm not doing anything, but I'm really pushing the knees apart. Good. And then release, just come back to your regular dog, and let's just pedal the feet a little bit. And it's just so you get to look at your feet and your legs at a different angle. Good. All right, and then we'll come down onto your knees, tops of the feet to the floor. Knees can go wide, and set your hips down on your heels. Lower yourself down for your child's pose. Let your forehead rest on your hands or on the floor. And just take a few breaths. Okay, if your knees are bothering you here, you can always put your blanket between your hips and your heels and make it a little bit longer or higher. Good. Okay. Take one more full breath in. And breathe out. And then come up to your hands and your knees. Okay, I'm going to put my hands on the blocks. And I'm going to step my right foot between the hands. So you could even lift your right hand up. Sometimes that's easier to take the foot up, and you can always grab it. And then just keep the back toes tucked under. I'm going to shift myself forward into this little bit of a modified lunge. And my foot is pointing straight ahead. And now with the left toes tucked under, press the heel back to lift your knee. So you're pushing through the heel. And then continue to just keep pushing that heel towards the floor. It's not going to touch. And at the same time, feel the right foot is anchored. Then lower the knee down by releasing the heel. So really nothing else is going to change. And then press the heel back and lift that thigh again. Okay, I'm going to do that 2 more times. And this time I'm not going to let the knee touch. I just want to feel that the heel is pressing forward and back. Good. Okay, and then from here, we'll let the knee come down. Shift your weight back, walk your blocks back if you're using them, and wiggle your right foot forward. I'm just going to turn a little bit here and lift the sole of the foot up off the floor. So you can put your blocks higher if you're very tight here. Okay, then find your cat-cow. And you're going to notice right away the back of that leg as you go through cat-cow, if it's possible, or you might be like, oh, there's nothing moving, but just feel what you've got. And then move into cow pose so that we get this stretch along the underside of this right leg. Now look at your right foot. Notice if it's dropping out. Bring it back. Spread your toes if you can. Anchor the heel and pull the heel like as if the floor wants to pull back. And then breathe. Smile. Yeah, I have to remind myself to keep spreading the toes. Good. Okay, and then we're going to release. Just move it back into your lunge. Okay, I'm going to come all the way up to standing lunge here. So I'll tuck the toes under, press back. Yeah, and then you might come up. So this is about the legs. Okay, now my right foot, I'm going to just really anchor that foot, press through the back heel. Maybe you can bend more into your front knee or not, just breathe. You're doing the work. You want to lift your arms up in the air. Mine are up in the air, do that. Okay, and then from here, I'm going to come back down. And I'm going to keep my arms up and just lower the knee down nice and slow until I can get that knee to come down. And then take the hands down. Yeah, awesome. Okay, bring the knees together. And I'm just going to sit on the toes. But, you know, if that's not happy for you, then you rest. Heart will, if you just popped into sitting in cross-legged, that's fine. Whatever you need to do, feel. Okay, if you're sitting on your toes, this is what I'm going to do here. I'm on my toes. I'm just going to move the heels out as if they're moving, you know, away from each other. Then I anchor knees into the floor. And it's work. Breathe. You can do that with your hands on the floor. Okay, and then we'll come back to our hands and knees. Maybe it's a downward dog in the middle. Just kind of see, you know, just shake it out. All good. Okay, then we'll come hands and knees. We'll bring the left foot between the hands. So I lift my hand up, sometimes it's just easier. And then come back into this lunge. And I'm just gonna move that right knee back as I can. And breathe. Keep the right toes tucked under. And then push through that right heel to lift the knee. Yeah, and as I do that, the left foot grounds a little more. Then I'll lower it down. I'm going nice and slow. This way you get to feel too, like, oh, is your hip flexor tight? Like really tune into where you feel this. I'm going to do it 2 more times without touching the floor. So I'm just really focusing on that back heel, even though the knee is what's moving. It's really the back heel. Good. And this time we'll let the knee come all the way down. Good. And then we'll shift back. Okay, you might walk the blocks back if you need to. Straighten your left leg. Yeah. Okay, and then we find cat-cow again. So it's just, you know, a little bit of moving of the tailbone really. And oh, that feels good. No stretching. Tailbone back. Hello. Calf or whatever you feel. And then find your cow pose. Whatever that is, just that place you feel a stretch. Then look at your left foot and bring it upright. Spread the toes, anchor the heel and pull the floor back. And then breathe. And I didn't do this on the other side, but you know, if you're open enough to fold forward a little bit without losing the integrity of the foot, breathe into that. As I say that, I have to remind myself, keep spreading. Keep anchoring the heel. Keep breathing. Good. Okay, and then we'll release. Come forward into this bent knee lunge, and we're going to lift up again. So you feel the back toes tucked under. Okay, press back through the heel, and then you come up. Maybe the hands come to the hips. Maybe you're wobbling. Hug in. Lift your belly. Okay, keep the integrity of the back heel in some way. Maybe it's lifting. Lift your arms if you wish. Then I like to sit down a little bit more into the front leg, push out through the back heel, and then I'm going to lower the knee down. So you might put the hands down or just challenge yourself to be, and then we'll step back with the both feet, and I'm going to sit on the tops of the feet. So adjust, whatever you need to do. Be here, feel, breathe. Yes. Okay. So we're going to come all the way up to standing. And I'm going to do that from downward dog, forward fold, like a little mini sun salute. So I'm going to keep my blocks here. And just bring yourself back to your DFD, your downward facing dog. Breathe. Good. Okay. So we're going to walk these feet to the hands. And we're going to do what I call an elephant walk. So you try and keep your legs as straight as possible. And you'll lift, let's say we lift the left heel up and then take the right leg through even a little bit. And then you can do the same with the right heel. At some point it's going to get crunchy. So you might put your hands on your blocks or come up onto the pads of your fingers. Just do your best to keep your legs straight. Once you get to the front of your mat, we'll just fold down. Take a forward fold, breathe. You can use your blocks. If you need to, you can bend your knees. But now let's look at your feet because you can see them here. So just notice, you know, your heels, your ankles. I'm just going to bring my foot up here. But your ankle is it can roll in and out, right? So now press your inner ankles to the outer ankles. And now lift up all 10 toes. So you're pushing from the inner ankle to the outer ankle, so you're more on the baby toe edge. Lift your toes. Spread them if you can. Put a little micro bend in your knees if your legs are straight. Now press the inner knee to the outer knee. Let's deepen that. Take your hands to the sides of your shins, the outsides of your shins. And it could just be the palm. And you're going to squeeze the shins in towards each other at the same time as you push the inner knee to the outer knee, inner ankle to outer ankle. Feel your sacrum widen. Good. And then release it all and feel how everything just collapses. Okay, let's come all the way up so you can bend your knees, roll up or take your arms out, however you like. Come up and then release and just stand. I'm just going to turn, even though you can't see me. And just feel. Yeah. Okay. All right. I know you don't all have a wall, but I'm assuming everybody has a block. So I'm going to take this block and I'm just going to put it about, a little bit away from the wall. So you don't need to use the wall. You might find it handy. I'm going to stand behind the block with my right foot and put the balls of the foot on the edge of the block. Okay. Then I'm going to lift my toes even just a little bit. Spread them. Press the balls of the feet, like right where toes become foot, into the block. Put a little bend in your right knee, like you're really pushing. Okay, and then you might put your hands at the wall if that's there, but if not, just put them on your hips. And I'm going to take the left foot and I'm going to actually step it back. So there's a balance. I come up, just step it back, and then Find this again. So you're spreading the toes, lifting, bending into the knee, anchoring the foot. Now look at your right knee and open it out to the baby toe edge. Yes. Okay. So if you have the wall, then you can get to push into the wall and push the left heel down and take your tush back like you're doing cow pose. And then rediscover this. Anchor into the block, open the knee, push the left heel down, breathe. Good. Okay, if you have the wall, release, straighten your legs. Now we're going to take this left foot forward. So you can do a whole bunch of little hops. You're going to find the place where your body says that's it. Otherwise, the right heel's going to lift. Pardon me. You can hold on to the wall if you like. You might reach up high if you've got the wall. Now feel the right heel pushing down, and you're going to open the back leg. So I'm going to straighten the right leg a little bit, as much as I can. I'm going to lift the toes, spread them. Now I'm just going to micro bend my knee without lifting the heel, if this is there. And then straighten the leg, micro bend, straighten one more. Good. And then release. Step your left foot back, step your right foot back, and just stand. And what I want you to feel is how grounded your right leg is, the right foot, and there's probably like a nice release through the right side. Okay, and then second side. So you can move the block over, place the balls of the left foot on the edge of your block. The heel stays on the floor. I put a little micro bend in my knee, maybe a big bend. Then I'm going to look at my foot, see if I can lift the toes and anchor the heel. Good. You can put your hands at the wall if that's there. Just feel that. Okay, now you're going to balance. If you don't have a wall, it's going to work even harder. So you balance on that left leg. So what that means is the knee shifts over to the outside of the foot, and then I'm going to balance my best if I can and take the right leg back. Then I'm going to feel this right heel anchor, right thigh moves back. If you have the wall, that's an advantage. You can push into the wall, take your tush back, but if you have your hands on your hips, you're working. You're working that back heel back, the thigh back, and anchoring that left leg. Okay, breathe. Good. So you're working the feet. Okay, and then we're going to release a little bit just to step that right foot forward. So you can keep your hands at the wall, or maybe not, just a whole bunch of little steps, and your body's going to say that's enough. Wherever it is, look at your left foot, anchor it. Good. Okay, and then I'm just going to micro bend the left knee and straighten. Whatever happens here, it might not be nothing. Then you just smile and go, huh, that's interesting. Just whatever you can do, we're just opening up the back of the calf. Good. If you have your hands at the wall, you can reach up. That'll give you a little bit more. Good. And then we'll release, step back, step off, and just stand and feel. Groovy. Okay, let's pick up that block and let's bring it. I'm going to put this block up, I call it like nice and cozy, right between your legs, like right up at the top there. And this is like, some of you have done this with me, I know, human Pez dispenser is what we call it. That's the technical term. I'm just going to turn to the side. So my legs now are squeezing that block. I'm going to look at my feet, lift the toes, move the inner ankles to the outer ankles, inner knee to outer knee, and just feel what happens to the block. Okay, now you're going to roll the block back. So you actually are rolling your thighs back, like you want the block to come out behind you. And then roll the block forward. And just do that a few times. So the feet are still engaged. I still have my toes lifted, working. The thighs are rolling in and out. it is cat-cow. If you can really feel, what's happening in your body. Good. I'm moving my hands. I tend to do this when I do this pose, just to, it's like rolling with the thighs. Okay, anchor your feet. Just reminding you all the stuff you can do, inner ankle to outer ankle. Good, and then come to center, whatever center is. Let your feet relax. Good, now squeeze the block. Lift your belly. Yeah, and now put your hands on your hips. We're gonna start to sit down in the legs. And just like to Utkatasana. So I'm gonna bend the knees, send my tush back like I'm doing cow pose. And then your arms can come in front of you or up top. Lift your toes, inner ankle to outer ankle, inner knee to outer knee. Thighs, squeeze the block. Breathe, anchor the big toe ball of the foot, not the big toe. So underneath it, and inhale, rise up. Release your hands, take your block out, set it down, and then just stand and feel. Yes. Okay, great. All right, next. Okay, I'm gonna take the block down to the floor, and I'm gonna do tree pose on the block. So if you wanna face your wall, if you have a wall, and I know it sounds scary, it's actually might be easier to balance when you're on the block, you see. So I'm gonna put the right foot on the block, and then just find your way. You can stay on your left toes. You can put your hands on your hips. Now anchor through the right foot. Move the inner ankle to outer ankle, inner knee, outer knee. And then just see what's gonna happen if you move into tree pose. And use a wall if you need it. But what's awesome here is that you can really feel how that right ankle is gonna move. I have my arms lifted. If your balance is really challenged, you can take them out to the side. I'm gonna try and lift my toes. Breathe. And then we're gonna release. So hands down. Left foot like you don't care. Bring it down. Yeah, okay, now just stand and feel. And then just notice for yourself, did you find that interesting, easier, weirder? Okay, then again, hold the wall if you need. Left foot on the block, and then you just come up onto your toes, and you take a moment. You push the foot down into the block. Maybe you lift your toes of the left foot, inner ankle, outer knee, outer knee. And then you see, oh, what happens? Whatever happened is what happens. And then just find your tree. You can open your arms, breathe. I just wanted to check out how you're doing. Let's see, and breathe. Feel the rotation of the left ankle. Tells us a lot. Take one more breath if you're still here. And then we'll release. Lay down, don't care. Take some air, and then come down. Good. And then feel what you've done, what you created. Okay, good. All right, I'm assuming everyone has blocks. If you don't have blocks, you're gonna use the wall for this one, or a chair or whatever. But I'm gonna put my blocks in front here, and we're gonna do pigeon in a tree. I suppose I know some of you know. So I'll just, super quick, I'm just gonna show you, just watch, super quick. I'm gonna bend the knees into all of that. Take the leg, this time it hops over, here, 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 whatever works, okay? So, but I'll talk you through. So here we go. I look at the feet. I'm gonna lift my toes, inner ankle, inner knee, outer knee. Imagine you're squeezing the block between your thighs. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Bend the right knee, cross ankle. Now you bend the left knee. Did I say that wrong? Yeah, bend your left knee. Feel all of that footwork we did at the very beginning. Push the knee out. Yeah, hands at your heart, on your hips. If you sit down more, it might be easier. And then you might take your hands to your blocks. And then it's about cow pose. So here I'm gonna really push my tush back, bend the knee, Flex the right foot, spread the toes, open the right knee, and now feel your left foot. Maybe you can lift the toes. Now I'm looking straight ahead. If that works for you, great. Take a breath. Okay, and then we come up with grace and elegance. So it's nice and slow. You see if you can come back up, and then release. Nice, baby. And just feel all that joy, all that pleasure, all that delight. Priestess of your body. High priest of your body. Good. Okay, so do it again. So look at the feet. You're gonna lift the toes, spread them, inner ankle, inner knee, outer knee, thighs together. Sit down in your legs, let's start there. Shift the weight over to the right foot, left ankle crosses over. Then we sit down more. You know, hands go wherever you need. Could be the block, could be the wall. Stick your butt out. You can open that knee out, open the foot. My right ankle is wobbling like crazy, but that is good. Okay, and then breathe. Wherever you are, I'm gonna bend my knee even more. Flex the foot a little more. Smile a lot more. And then we'll come up with grace and elegance. Release and breathe. Be here. Yes. Okay, we're gonna come down for a squat. So you could use your blocks. You can always sit on your blocks. I'm just gonna show that really quick. So I could even take my blocks. Hey, maybe this is my squat today. This is my squat today. Whatever it is, you know, you can sit on it and come all the way down. Open your legs apart so you can actually turn your toes out. And now this is work too. I take my hands down and I'm gonna push the upper arms into the knees, and the knees are gonna push back in. Then I'm gonna lift my toes, inner ankle to outer ankle, inner knee to outer knee, and then squeeze the block between your thighs. And breathe. Whatever you have here is great. If you're just in your squat, like I'm just here, Joe, then, you know, that's great. You be where you need to be. Take one more breath. Okay, and then we're gonna come to sit. So I have nothing, I'm not sitting on anything, so I'm just gonna whoop, drop it down, and whatever works, works. Okay, and stretch your legs out like we did at the very beginning. Roll your ankles. Point and flex your feet. Good. Okay, so we're gonna come to lie down, and maybe a blanket for underneath your head. If you want to have your Shavasana stuff close by, that's fine too. I'm just gonna put a blanket down for the head. Okay, and then, oh, you know what? We have blocks, right? Let's take a block and we'll put it under the hips for a little bit and just take that nice little bit of upside down. So as you lie down, I like to have the tops of my shoulders, my head on the blanket. You're gonna take the block, lift your hips, and then put it on your sacrum. So that's low, my friends, not on the spine at all. You should feel like bone resting on block. If you don't have blocks, you know, you can use a blanket. And if you have books at home, you can always use that too. And then you can put your block at any height you like. You want to go highest, you can walk the feet in, lift up high, and then come back. But wherever you are, just settle here. And close your eyes. Put all the effort. Just drop in and be. And if you had a day, let it go. And then we're just going to heel toe your feet out. Like it might even be off your mat. And then just come back to like that bit of a squat foot position. So the toes turn out a little bit. And then let your knees just drop out. And they're not, you know, might not go anywhere. Just release the knees out. Yeah, okay. Now I'm just gonna add my feet. So I'm gonna lift the toes, anchor the balls of the feet, the heel, move the inner heel to the outer heel, Push the inner knee to the outer knee. And then just ground the feet. And then slowly release all that effort. And just feel what happens. Allow everything to just soften. And let's just take a few more breaths, just do nothing. Okay, keep your right foot where it is and heel toe your left foot over to your right foot. And they might not go right beside each other, but you just kind of, you might walk them both over to the left a little more. And then allow the left knee to just drop and like both knees just kind of drop open. Now add your feet in some way, even if the sole of the foot's lifting up, like mine is lifting up. I'm just going to anchor the baby toe edge, lift the toes, and then bring that knee up, and now walk both feet over to the opposite side, wherever they go, and then drop in, adjust your block if you need to, and let the knees just kind of drop away from each other. And then you can add your feet. Inner ankle to outer ankle, inner knee to outer knee. And then allow that to just soften. And then we'll just walk the feet back to center and lift your hips off your block. Take the block out and come all the way down. Walk your feet apart, drop the knees together, basic resting pose. And this bit of pigeon toeing of the toes in, heels out. You can have your arms out to the side or rest your hands on your body. And just allow everything to just be. Take a nice breath in and out. And then separate your knees, heel toe your feet. I'm going to bring the right knee into the chest, interlace the fingers. Maybe you extend the left leg or keep it bent. And just be here for a moment. Just feel this, soften your belly, tuck your chin in a little bit, or even tuck your blanket under a little bit more so your head is a little bit more supported. Okay, my friends, so from here, I'm going to just release the arms down and extend this leg up. And wherever your leg goes, you're going to look at the foot, spread your toes, inner ankle to outer ankle, inner knee to outer knee as best as you can. Now bend at the knee. And once you have the heel in, point the foot, straighten the leg, and flex the foot, and slowly bend. And if you can spread your toes on the way down, great. And point the foot and extend. Flex the foot and bend. Now, as I do this, my left leg just naturally starts to engage. So I'm flexed through my left foot. I think I'm even spreading the toes there. Yep. And just do this. Good. Let's just do one more. And then we're going to turn this into an egg beater. So I'm going to just, like as if you're making a circle with your calf, your shin, your foot. So the knee is just getting some rotation, and probably the thigh and the hip, all of that. And then just reverse, circle this in the opposite way. And watch your foot. What is it doing? Is it leading? Okay, I'm going to lift the leg up, flex the foot, ground through the left leg, and slowly lower this right leg down, but push out through the heel. So at some point, even if your leg isn't straight when it's up, it's going to get straight. Push out through the heel like you mean it. And it's not about getting down. It's about extending through the heel. Once it touches the ground, let your legs flop. And just take a few breaths. Okay, if you want to stretch your arms over your head or grab your elbows, just give yourself a stretch, a wiggle. And then we'll bring the left knee in, opposite interlace. Hug it in. And then take your arms down. And we'll extend this leg up towards the sky. Now just look at it. And if your leg doesn't go up, that's fine. Find a place, look at it, spread the toes, inner ankle to outer ankle. Just notice. Inner knee, whether you're doing it or not, just become aware of these things you can do. And then we're going to bend, heel down. Once the heel comes down, point your foot and lift it up. Then flex, maybe spread the toes. Notice when your right leg starts to engage, so the right heel is pressing into the floor and maybe the toes are spreading. Yes. Good. And just watching and feeling. You know, when you flex the foot, you're going to feel something, even though we open up the backs of our calves so beautifully, but just feel. Good. Let's just do one more. Full up, full down. And then we'll let the leg come all the way up. And we'll come to that little egg beater action. So just turning the foot and the shin and rolling at the knee. And you don't have to go super fast because there's a lot happening here. Just, you know, you can feel even in your back, and maybe you can feel it all the way up to your side ribs, and feel the other leg kind of helping to counterbalance. And then reverse and start to circle the other way. You can even draw your belly in a little bit just to give yourself a little extra support. Smile so it's not so serious. Good. And then we'll keep the leg up. You know, flex through your heel, anchor the right leg, and we lower the leg down, but it's about extending it as much as you can. It's like you're pushing something away with your heel. I'm going to turn my palms up so everything's relaxed. It's just this leg moving, moving. And once it touches down, just let it go and breathe. Good. All right, we're going to come to windshield wiper. So both feet on the floor, maybe you do it at the same time. And separate your feet nice and wide and just rock this side to side. But as you rock your knees, feel that the feet are where the movement's coming from. So that as you get all the way to one side, you can push the feet into the floor and out. Maybe the toes are lifting. You can really feel your feet rolling on the floor. Or imagining that they're doing that. Good. Yes. Great. Okay, and then just bring your knees up, but keep the feet wide. We're going to lift the toes up off the floor. Anchor the big toe ball of the foot. Feel that. And now start to drop your knees out. And as the knees drop out, the ball of the foot's probably going to lift. But just keep pushing through that. The toes are lifted. Breathe. And then as you exhale, you'll bring the feet back down. Let the knees come in towards each other. And rest your hands somewhere. Let your feet relax. And breathe. Good. Take one more full breath in. And breathe out. Good. And then separate your knees, heel toe your feet together. And I'm just going to bring the knees into the chest. Just give them a little hug. And maybe down at your shins or anywhere that is accessible. And make some circles on your knees. Let's give them a little massage here. And at the same time as you do that, flex your feet, spread your toes, inner ankle to outer ankle, inner knee to outer knee, and imagine there's a block between your thighs. Good. And then we'll lower the knees, all the feet down to the floor, and we'll move into your Shavasana. So if you have a bolster, you can put that underneath or whatever you like, cover yourself up. Use an eye pillow. Just make it very nice. So you have this opportunity to just rest and integrate. And we have a full 10 minutes here for Shavasana. I'll say this too, if there's anything else you need or you want to do legs up the wall, if you have a wall nearby, just bring yourself up and over to that. We've just got some dark in here. Yeah. And just rest into your stillness and to the space you have created. So as you come into your rest, my friends, just notice the vibrational energy in your feet and anywhere else. You can just guide your awareness up your body to feeling what you have created, recreated, reclaimed, reawakened. The power of the goddess cards we chose, the goddess of Isis and the goddess Mary Magdalene, and these are very powerful, powerful women. Powerful stories, powerful, potent, I want to say, mother goddesses. And to just feel that, you mother yourself when you get on your mat and you move with awareness. And you unleash your own power. So feel all of that just swirling within you and around you. Just reminding yourself that you are powerful. And pains we feel in the body is just the body talking to us. And this is where we do the deep listening. And where we communicate with ourselves. Not with the thinking mind, but by the doing. And here your job in Shavasana is to do less. Think less. Release any tension. Let go. To be still and soft. Let's release yourself more deeply. Soften a little more. Choosing to stay in your rest. Have more time, take your time. And as you feel ready, start to invite in movements through your ankles, new awareness to your feet. Rock your toes in towards each other and apart, just rotating your entire leg, the hips, low back. Just continue on, maybe moving through the hands or bringing the knees in, whatever, take your time and honor your movements in a way that you don't normally do when you wake up. Just resting in the fetal position for a breath or two. And just come up to seated whenever you're ready. Take your time. Again. Whether you've come up to seated or just staying in your rest, to just take a moment to really become aware of the softening and the calm and relaxation and restfulness that hopefully you're feeling after your practice and then your Shavasana. And as you take your seat of the yogi or still lying on your back, you can feel the vibrational energy and the power you have put into your practice. And that great reminder that I am powerful. And also that great reminder that I am soft. A lot of people are confused. But to be powerful, one has to be compassionate. And that starts with yourself. And that is all reinforced right here on the mat. As you're ready, joining your palms together in front of your heart, bowing your chin with great reverence for all that you are, and all that you bring to the mat, and all that you open yourself to, and all that you can release. And very slowly start to lengthen yourself tall, lift your chin, and keep your eyes closed and exhale as you are. Even in your seat, lean back a little bit, just feeling that supportive you behind you. And from here, my friends, I invite you to join with us in our May We Be Blessed mantra and one Om. Inhale. May we be blessed with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be healthy and may we be happy. Let's seal that. Inhale. Take a nice big breath. Breathe into your hands. Lift your chin. Open your eyes. Great love. Namaste, my friends. Namaste. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here. Namaste, Dave. Namaste. Okay. Look at that. Look how the light has changed. I know we're a half an hour later, but still. Can't even see my little dog on me. Thank you, guys.